Welcome back to another Life in Sweden vlog with me, Shalika. I am a Sri Lankan living here in Sweden, Scandinavia for the last 15 years, and today we're starting the vlog in an area called Strandvagen, Beach Road to be translated. We visited some friends here for the day to have some fika, and I wanted to film. So this is a pretty exclusive area in Sweden. The houses go for about 1.5 million euros and way up to maybe 2 or 3 million depending on the size of the house. Now these houses overlook a waterfront. As you can see, we will be going there very shortly. The nature here, we've got ducks, and this one was just taking it easy here on the grass, enjoying some sun, but don't be fooled by the weather. It was blowing hard and it was pretty chilly. So in today's vlog, I really wanted to talk to you a little bit about housing here in Sweden and what it is like for us to buy homes here. Now obviously this area, the homes are expensive, but for the most part most Swedes can afford a decent house. Now I will take myself and my husband as an example. My husband was working as a cop and I was working in a nursery school. Now I was just a normal Montessori nursery teacher, and obviously he was just a general cop, and both of us were able on our salaries to buy a townhouse in Sweden, a 4-bedroom townhouse. It's an attached townhouse. Of course, there's many attached townhouses here in Sweden. That's how the houses are built, and they can be so affordable. But a 4-bedroom house on a cop's and a teacher's salary is unheard of in most parts of the world. Where I come from in Sri Lanka, there is no chance that people with our salaries in Sri Lanka could afford a 4-bedroom house, and as well as in England. So we are very lucky. Even though the house prices have gone up here in Sweden, they are relatively good even for us at the moment, with inflation really high and everything. So we get a lot of benefits from the government as well. So for the most part, I would say that most Swedes were able to get a decent home or a flat. Now we've got lots of flats here as well. You get some for renting and most of them are for purchasing, and they do have strict rules when it comes to second-hand renting. So those are very strict here in Sweden. You'd really have to have proper permission. Now it's not to say that people don't do these things and things don't fall through the cracks in Sweden. Of course it does. Subscribe to my channel. I will be talking about how the system works here also in Sweden, so those will be coming up in the upcoming videos. But let's have a look at these people here in the water. It was freezing. I was talking to them and they were going to go windsurfing. It was very windy that day, so perfect weather for them. They were wearing these thick bodysuits because I said, oh, they're going to be cold, and they were like, yes, but it's fine. We're probably going to be in the water most of the time. It's our second or third time trying this, but they were really enjoying themselves. And this is what the Swedes do. Slow living in Sweden, it is a lot of activities like sports and sailing and swimming. People really enjoy being outdoors. So I watched them windsurfing for a bit. As you can see, they were trying to use whatever wind was there, and that was a lot to try and get up, and he actually succeeded. So I thought it was fun just to sit here and watch, as well as to film everything for you guys. And we are about to go back and have some fika as well, and a little later on in the video I will be showing you some of the houses here in Sweden in an area called Sundbyberg, which is also quite an exclusive area. It's not by the water front, but it is a beautiful villa area in Sweden, very close to Stockholm. So it really is a beautiful place. So that's going to be coming up. My husband and I, we live in a townhouse, I would say about 20 minutes from our house into Stockholm city in the car. So it is very close. We are in the Stockholm area, and as well as if you took the train, it would just take you 10 to 15 minutes as well from where we live. So it is very convenient, and compared to that, the housing prices are really good. We paid about 300,000 euros or a little bit less less than that, which is for a 4-bedroom house, really, really affordable. Now, we did buy our house a few years ago, so it has gone up in price. I think we can probably get about under 5 for that at the moment, 5 million crowns, which is about 500,000 euros. But it is pretty affordable still. Now this, what you're looking at, is a makeshift toilet. Yes, because like I said, people come out here, spend the entire day here, and then of course they need to go to the toilet. So we've got a makeshift toilet here during the summer months so that people can use the toilet if they need to, and just really spend an entire day here grilling or eating and enjoying with some friends. Some guys were playing frisbee, so it really is a nice place to come and have a nice outing. So now we're driving through Sollentuna, trying to get to a place called Sundbyberg. We wanted to buy some dinner. My son wanted KFC. But as you can see, this time of the year, all the trees are very, very green. It's really, really beautiful. I love the winter as well. And like I've said many times in my vlogs before, you really need to appreciate the seasons if you are moving to Sweden. So, the one thing that I don't particularly like in Sweden is that you get some of these really beautiful architectural buildings like this one next to some really ugly 70s or 60s designed buildings. That is my only problem with the housing system here in Sweden, but for the most part, I think we are very, very lucky that we live here. Now we've come into Sundbyberg. Now my husband and I found a very small flat when I first moved to Sweden here. It was just a 1-bedroom, tiny little flat, and we lived here for 3 years. We really loved it, but obviously we were not able to afford a house here for that price. But we are driving through, and as you can see, it's very green. Some of the houses are really, really big, and most of all, these houses, I think, are handed down from generation to generation. But it is definitely possible to buy. I've seen some of them on the website, but it is really a beautiful place to live in. I would move here in a heartbeat. But we are driving through, just enjoying the scenery and just feeling a little bit nostalgic. Now, Swedish architecture is really very, very mixed. We've got, like I said, a lot of buildings from the 60s and the 70s, which are very square, don't really have a lot of embellishments, but the older typical wooden Swedish home is really quaint. It really speaks to my heart. I'd love to have one of those. It's very traditional here, and there is a color called fallen red, which they use on a lot of houses as you go further out into the countryside here in Sweden. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, looking at some of the houses, hearing me explain what it's like to buy a house and housing here in Sweden. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave it in the comment below, and I'll do my best to answer them. But I did want to preface that I have lived in Sri Lanka as well as in England, so I really have a good idea of what it is like to buy homes in those countries as well. Sri Lanka, you've got really high interest rates from the bank, so there's no way anybody can take a mortgage. In England, for what we paid for our townhouse, you'd probably be able to get a little flat. So thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I hope I see you next time here on my channel. Hit that notification bell, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.